Wow, Donald Trump was just on stage in Palm Beach, and he made a shocking revelation. It really just slipped out. I don't think a lot of people are paying attention to it. They're paying attention to a different part of the bite that was also honestly very disturbing. But I'm going to play it for you in just a minute, and I want you to tell me if you could hear it, because it's slipped by everyone else, but I caught it. Donald Trump also had many slip-ups in this speech where he just sounded like he is losing his mind. Here he is having a hard time, just a hard time speaking. If you could quickly like this video and subscribe, liking this gets this into the algorithm. The more you like it, the more people see it, and we need to make sure people see this content.
And that means defeating Kamala Harris in a landslide.
Landslide? I mean, now that Biden's out, this is the oldest man who's ever ran for president in our lifetime, ever in history. And we got to say it, like, maybe he's just too old for this job, because that is not a normal way to be talking. This is also not a normal way to be talking. I'm about to show you next. Donald Trump said, he alluded to that elections are going to stop if he becomes president. Listen to this. It's actually disturbing.
And again, Christians, get out and vote. Just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote.
So much happening in that clip. I mean, this is a man who has said before that he wants to suspend the Constitution. He has said that. He has said that he feels like Election Day should only be one day. This is a man who has tried to overturn a free and fair election. So, and he's also said he wants to be a dictator on day one. So this is not, we should take him at his word with this sort of stuff. And by the way, Donald Trump is maybe not the brightest bulb, but he says what he means and he does what he says. Now, I slipped it in there. I'm wondering if you heard the clip that I was teasing, because that was the clip. But not a lot of people are paying attention to what he said. They're paying attention to the first part, which is he wants to stop voting. But I'm going to play it again. Listen to what he says. I hope every single Democratic super PAC, I hope the Harris campaign, I hope every Democrat who can makes an ad about this moment and runs it from now until November.
And again, Christians, get out and vote. Just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote.
Did you hear it?
I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian.
He said the thing. Now, are we surprised that he is not Christian? No, of course not. This man couldn't even pick out his favorite Bible verse. Didn't he say something like, oh, you know, I like all of them, like a kid who never did the book report?
You mentioned the Bible. You've been talking about how it's your favorite book, and you said, I think last night in Iowa, some people are surprised that you say that. I'm wondering what 1 or 2 of your most favorite Bible verses are,
well,
and why.
I wouldn't want to get into it, because to me that's very personal. You know, when I talk about the Bible, it's very personal, so I don't want to get into verses. I don't want to get into...
There's no verse that means a lot to you that you think about or cite?
The Bible means a lot to me, but I don't want to get into specifics.
Even to cite a verse that you like?
No, I don't want to do that.
You're an Old Testament guy or a New Testament guy?
Probably equal. I think it's just an incredible... The whole Bible is an incredible... I joke very much so. They always hold up the Art of the Deal. I say my second favorite book of all time.
Yeah, so that man is not a Christian, and he finally admitted it. So it is the job of every single Democrat, every single Democratic strategist, every single Democratic ad maker to take that clip and make it Donald Trump's living nightmare, because it just lays bare to everything we already know, that he is a con man who believes nothing but in power, will say anything to get it, and he is playing Christians like a fiddle. He's playing like a fiddle, and it's so upsetting. I mean, whether or not you believe in, religion, it's just so awful that someone is taking advantage of a large group of people using something that they hold so dear just to like gain power so he can stop being criminally prosecuted and so that he can, I don't know, be in power until he dies. It's just so awful. So my hope is that this clip, it just goes viral, and I hope that people latch onto this part, because we're probably all going to be distracted by the first part, which is that he says that he doesn't want to have any more elections. Okay, fine. Unfortunately, that's not going to move voters. I wish it would, but voters just don't feel like democracy is at stake, by and large. Swing voters, they think that's hyperbole. Obviously, you and I know that's not the case. A lot of voters think that democracy is not on the ballot. They think that, you know, they want to talk about immigration. They want to talk about the economy. And that's fine. We'll do that. We will do that to win. But the second part is very damning, and I do think it will matter to a lot of voters, or at least he should have to answer for it. Why did he say that? I'm not a Christian. That's not something anyone would ever say if they were Christian, ever. That would like be me being like me saying I don't live in DC. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?